Good afternoon, YouTube. I thought I'd do a mountain video or attempt to do one anyway. I think I showed you guys this lovely punga log that we picked up from a garden supplies place, and at the time it only had this frong come out, but as you can see there's another frong here. I'll get you closer. Another frong here. And there's also one coming here, and I can feel two coming at the back. So when that bushes out, I think that will look quite attractive. It's quite heavy because I've had it soaking in water for a little while, just to induce the fronds to come. And I'm now going to try and mount the two little orchids that I had. This is what they are. Can see that. Sorry, there we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it as best I can and show you how I do it. Now, to do this, I'm going to have to lay it down. So I'm going to find the front of it. So that's the front here. So I want to attempt to put one orchid here and one down here, or vice versa. Probably one down here and one up here, sorry. One here and one here. So I'm going to turn it how I need to do it. So put it there, like that. Try and keep it there, stop it from flopping around. I've got my supplies, so I've got my wire, scissors, obviously the plants, and I've already tied, I've got my two wires already, or fishing line I should say, already. One of them I've already done a slip knot in, because although my husband's shown me God knows how many times how to do these, every time it takes me a little while to work out how to do them. And but I will attempt to do one of them and show you how I do it. It's very fine, this line, you can hardly see it, but there is a slip knot there already started. So put that down there. Right, first things first, I'm not putting any sphagnum moss on this because it's quite a porous surface, and it's quite a good sort of surface for these plants for the roots to go into. The nursery that I actually buy these orchids from, they do recommend that you mount them on the punga logs. So, so they say that it's a good thing to put them on there. And when you look on their webpage, a lot of them that they've got mounted have got nothing on them. They literally are just mounted on bark with no moss at all, no sphagnum moss, nothing. And just sort of strapped on there with like a bit of old shoelace, it looks like. But I think we can do a little bit more finesse than that. So I'm going to put the littler one on this side because I think it will balance, this side's got the frong on it, so it will balance it out. So let's take it out of the pot and see what's going on inside and what we've got to work with. So it's, just not a lot. Oh yes, there we go. So very small. So I'm not going to, the roots are okay. Yeah, they're not too bad. It's quite dry, which is good because this is quite wet. So I'm hoping that will help with it. So I'm not going to worry about getting too much off. So that'll do. I'm working out. So this is the newest growth here. So that needs to come to the front. So I'm just going to pop it on. Spread out the roots. A bit like that, as much as I can. Then I've collected this moss from the moss that we grow outside, and I thought this looked particularly nice. But what I'm not going to put a huge amount on there. I'm just going to, it's quite a deep, you can see it's quite deep here. So I intend to just pick most of this off as much as I can without pulling it all away. And then I'm just going to tease it out and just sort of put it in the middle. I'm going to leave a couple of the roots outside and a couple that side. So I'm just putting it in the middle really, just to make it look a bit more attractive. Take all the extra bits away, and anything growing in the moss that's not moss, take it off. And that's about it, I think. So it's literally just lie it on there as best you can, and then we use the wire, and that'll be the tricky bit. So I'll move it up that way. So I'm going to have to balance it on here in order to get the wire around, like that. I hope you can see. Just bring it a bit closer. Alright, so I just need to wipe my hands off so I'm not getting a right mess. So like I say, I've done my slip knot, which is here. I'm going to make it quite big to get it around. This stuff can be quite tricky to work with. It's just getting used to it really. So I'm going to put it at the start up here to start with, and then just pull the knot in like that. So the longer piece is here, so just slip it in, not too tight, you don't want to strangle the plant, and then get that knot around the back, or around the back side, and then just wind it round, hold it on as best you can. Literally is just keep winding. You don't have to pull it too tight because you don't want to, you know, break the roots, but you also don't want it flopping about. You want it to be fairly secure on there. I haven't got enough to go around once more, so now I need to secure that. So with the two ends, I know you can't see the ends, but the two ends of this side, I'm literally just going to tie a knot in those. So do that, and then we'll put it upright and see. If I could come around, I could probably come around and tie a knot around the front here actually as well, just to keep that top part in best I can. There we go. It's just a case of holding it. A bit fiddly with this wire or fishing line. But once you get it done, it's done. This is where, like Roger said, you need free hands. You need one to hold the wire, stop the knot from coming undone, and the other two to tie the remaining knot. There we go. So just cut off the surplus there, like that. So that's it. So that's the first one mounted. So it should look quite nice from that side. So that's that one. And then the second one I'm just going to put here. So get the second one out of its pot. This bark is pretty good actually. It's not broken down or anything. This supplier, I get most of my orchids from this supplier, and generally they're pretty good. But the other two I had in this shipment, which is the ones I posted yesterday, one of them, not the one in bud, but the other one, I can't remember what it was called, roots wasn't very good. I've just repotted it, and I was quite shocked at how many roots were rotted actually. So, but I don't blame the supplier. And it was two plants in the one pot, so I did plant them. Oh, this is going to be a bit forceful getting this out of here. Did plant them back in the same pot, you know, to make the plant look fuller. There we go. So that's that one. Quite a few more roots on this one, so this one's obviously a bit more established, but they're all good. They all feel reasonably healthy. Good job I picked this bigger one to go at the top because there's more roots to splay on this one. So, get the worst of the bark off. I'm not going to rinse it or anything. I don't see anything, you know, immediately wrong with it. I can't see any evidence of any bugs or anything like that. And the roots are fairly good, nothing to cut off. Well, that one's a bit iffy, so we can just pull that one off. I do tend to just pull them off. I am a bit heavy-handed, I think, with them. There you go. But the rest of them are looking good. Just a little bit there. There you go. So all the rest are looking good. Okay, that's that. Sorry for reaching across in the front, but it's a bit awkward to get everything in here. So I'm going to put this one here so it grows up a bit. I think that would look quite nice there, like that. So put this one down, and I need to do this without squashing the other one. So put it on, splay it out a bit, make sure I've got the newest, which is that one there, the newest cane at the front. It might look better just going over the top like that. It's looking good. So that should stick to that quite well. Again, get the moss. I'm going to take a lot of this stuff off at the back. Keep that off there like that. Don't want too much of it on. Pull it apart. Spread it out a bit, so we're going to spread it over like that. Don't have to put all the roots in the moss. You just need to get, you know, some of them covered. It's basically, it's a way of holding the plant on, and I think it looks a bit prettier. It does dry off. I don't, you know, I don't spray them so much that the moss stays green and, you know, might be detrimental to the orchid. Right, just wash my hands. And I'll attempt to do a slip knot and show you. This will be interesting. Right, so, I don't know if you're going to be able to see. You get your two end, you get your thing and you make a loop. Right, you put one, the top, the shorter piece over the top, over the bottom rather, and then you bring the other piece through and you just hold on to both ends and you pull it like that. Oops, get the right bit, and it makes a slip knot. And you probably didn't see that at all, but you can look on the internet to see how to make slip knots, and then you can just pull it through. Now I've got to get this on here without messing that other orchid, so let's just get it over. Oops, well that was good, wasn't it? Not a problem. I can put it back on. Make sure it's in the right place. And in the front a bit more. There we go. Hold it on, the moss up. Right, so get the stuff. It's fiddly. So I'm going to start this one at the top more. So I'm now going to lift it up just to get this started. There you go. So once I tighten it, I'm going to try and wrap it around as best I can. Without breaking anything. tricky. Get in there. Once more, 1.5. Put it up right. Oh, just I think. So tie it at the back. Cut the ends off. Right, I'll clean up the labels and put them on in there in a minute. So, that's the final results. Everything out the way so you can see. Now, I was going to put one on the back, but I figured nobody's going to see the back. I'm, going to have this front piece looking towards me in the orchid house, and it's going to go in a, I'm thinking about putting it in quite a large clay pot, but having it balanced, and just having some of the clay, we used to call it not Horkatika, I can't remember what it's called, but they call them clay balls, which you can use for orchids as well. But I may well just put it in a pot with some soil just to hold it in place, and then put some more moss around the top of the pot to make it look a bit more decorative. So it would be up higher like that. Anyway, I think that's the end of the video because my phone's going. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it gave you some idea how to do it. And thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you later.